Hey, we're on. Thanks for coming in. Um, Streaming's something that's a little bit new for me. I've done it a few times, but I've been really excited about getting on here and doing this only because, it's just fun. There's no other reason, but I just enjoy making videos. As you can see, this is the same setup that I've always filmed my videos on. If you've seen any of them, it's just me sitting here talking about things I like to talk about, mainly big waves, surfing. It's my passion. And yeah, it's just, this is indicative of where, the surf world is right now. To be a professional surfer, either you have to be top 10 in the world grinding out contests, or you're in the content game. And this has been quite the journey. I started making stuff in 2019, 2020, and I had just finished college. It was wild because I spent from 18 to 22 thinking I was going to be an accountant. I was going to school, University of San Diego, just grinding out school and thinking like, okay, real life's going to happen soon. And it was wild. Just graduating in 2019, I came back here to Maui for the winter, got into a little bit of big wave surfing with my brother, fell in love with it, and then boom, pandemic hit. And all my sort of job aspirations, or what I thought was going to be my jobs, kind of went out the window. And we're all stuck inside, and it's the same story that I think a lot of people have experienced, in that they got into just posting stuff. And that was the dawn of TikTok. And as embarrassing as it was at the time to say that you were posting on TikTok, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was a dance app. There was no surfers or anybody posting sort of normal content. And I had a friend that was like, hey, you got to post your big wave videos on there. Like, this app is going to be big. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then I recruited my friend, Ian Gentile, and you might know him. He's a WSL surfer. And I was like, dude, Ian, like our friend's saying this could be big. Let's just dedicate a month. Let's post on TikTok. And after that month, like, we were like, okay, if it's not popping off, we'll just quit. This isn't the route to go. But things started popping off, and it was honestly a lot of fun. I had no following, was completely unknown within surfing. Other than I share the same last name as a really famous surfer, which I'm very lucky to say. And but it was cool just like sharing my stories, and like that. It was a really cool time for me too, because I was just getting into big wave surfing. So it was like I could share how I was experiencing things for the first time. My first time going out to Jaws, first time to Mavericks, first time to Nazare, and sort of like feeling like I could bring the audience along with me was really fun. And the it really was rewarding when people could sort of identify with what I was doing. I wasn't some big name surfer. I was an entry level person, and I was just trying my best to be real about what that experience was like. And yeah, it was really fun. So yeah, so over this past year, it's been wild, just because back in September, I got like a really nuts injury in Fiji, a cloud break. My fin stabbed into my calf, and my season was over. So I haven't surfed big waves since last April. So I've just been fiending. So it's been like really fun, just like being a fan of the sport again. Not necessarily participating, but just looking at these clips and just marveling at it. Even though I do this stuff sometimes, I'm still like, gosh, how do people survive this? Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so that's what this streaming thing is basically I'm sitting here in my room. It's as if I'm talking to some friends, breaking down clips. And I love doing that. And I think there's a lot of different places this streaming stuff could go. Obviously, there's the IRL stuff, like in real life, like out in the water surfing, which would be sick. I don't know if you've seen my brother do any of that type of stuff, but he did a really good job where he's able to read chat out in the lineup, interact with people. I think that would be super cool. But also just like getting my friends in here and even having them break down surf clips, if I get Ian Gentile, Cody Young, um, you know, it it uh it would be really fun to just have this be a new avenue where we can just sit around and have a good time. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited about it. We'll see how it goes. Even if there's one person in here watching me yap my butt off, then it'll be worth it and it's fun. Even if there were zero people, I'd be doing it. But yeah, let's see. Davis Kane said entry level surfer is a wild way to describe yourself. Well, I wouldn't say I'm an entry level surfer. I think for those early years of my big wave surfing, I was entry level into big wave surfing. So a lot of my content was based around that. I hope in the last like 5 or 6 years I've upped my level since then. I'm no longer entry level, but um, but yeah, it's been a good journey, and I still have a lot to learn. There's still so much stuff in big waves that I want to do. I feel like this year was a bummer because I trained so hard over the off season, like all summer, 5 days a week in the gym, trying to gain some muscle, just get a little bit bigger, and learning some of the tricks, the chop hops and everything, and being really excited. And then right before winter started, I'm out. So let's look at what we've been missing here. So uh, last week there was a Nazare swell. I wouldn't say it's been the best Nazare season ever from what I've seen, but man, it looked like it was firing. And I came across this sort of highlight reel the other day. I didn't watch it because I wanted to react to it here, but let's check it out and see and try to give myself a ton of FOMO. This is from Above Creators, I think. Posted this, yeah. But, oh, it looks so good. Oh my god, it's like perfect offshore. Holy crap. Bro, that barrel was makeable. That was like a solid 20 footer. Dude. If you would have, let's see. If you would have came from like back here, backdoored it right here, stall, you'd have been standing in a freaking 20-foot barrel, spat out. And I'm not trying to call out whoever was on the waves there, but I mean, that was a sick wave regardless. I would have been stoked to just ride that wave, but gosh, and that's the thing with Nazare too, is sometimes randomly these waves will do this, where they will just bowl out so hard and just turn into a massive barrel. But the truth is about that wave is it does not happen every time. And I've experienced that firsthand where I misread it and thought it was going to barrel and nearly got my head chopped off. So it's no fault to him, but I'm sure he looked at this clip and was like, oh my God, I could have gotten drained. I knew I would have been kicking myself if I was watching this and that was me. I'd be like tripping. But let's see what else went on out here. Tony, staple of Nazare, local, always ripping. Look, he's fading deep. He's looking for the barrel here. But more of a turn wave. I loved that approach he had, where he just got that turn in early on the wave. Like, look at this. Look how he did this. So like mid face bottom turn, hooked in there. That's something that I in the past couple seasons I've been trying to learn how to do, is really go to the top of the wave. Like if you watch my brother Kai, like that's what he does really well. He goes to the very top of the wave, arcs it, and projects down the wave, and that's not easy to do. So that was a pretty impressive turn by Tony. Oh my gosh. So that was the famous clip. That's the clip I saw from this. Oh my gosh. Fernando. Dude. That was a solid 25 footer. 50-foot wave. Landed straight on top of his head. I think I saved another angle of this. Let's find this other angle, because this deserves a second look. There's an angle that's from the drone that was just wild. Let's see if my computer loads. I'll pull it up right now. Yeah, here it is. Watch this. Watch this wave. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Landed straight on top of him. And let's try to break down exactly what happened here. So he lets go, and he lets go mid-face. And that's something that you'll see a lot at Nazare when it's really big, is that it's such a peak and it comes out of nowhere so fast that you're able to, like, if your driver's like good like that, he can drop you off almost at the bottom of the wave, where your drop is only about 5 feet. It's like, if you drop in up here, you know, if you let go of the rope, that's a hard drop to make. You're gonna go really fast. But the sketchy thing about letting go at the bottom of the wave mid face is that this could happen. You have no idea what's coming down on you. So he drops in here. He only makes about a 5-foot drop. Probably has little idea what's coming, and that's happened to me before out there. But which I'll show you the clip of what happened to me. Luckily, I got away with it. But this wave will sneak up on you. Like I was saying earlier about how it will sometimes barrel, it'll sometimes pitch, but most of the time it's mushy. He may have thought that this was going to be a mushy one, and he was going straight. And the scariest thing is he probably saw this thing just slowly going over him. He didn't see the wave, he saw the shadow. So you can see this shadow coming over him, and at that moment he knew it was over. Like, whenever you see the shadow at Nazare, you know that something's about to take you out, and that's exactly what happened. This thing lands directly on top of him, and that's a lot of water. Like at Nazare, it really apexes into one spot. So if you're right at that apex, that is the entire force of the Atlantic Ocean pinnacling on your head. And that must have knocked the wind out of him. Oh my gosh. That's just insane. Let's watch this thing back again. Look at this. On the bottom, boom. Just exploded. Oh my gosh. And that's crazy. And then just so, like, and this isn't necessary, like I saw some comments saying that, you know, that like this might have been sort of a kook move to end up in this situation. And I looked up on Instagram some of his normal surfing waves. He's a good surfer, but that's just a testament to how tricky this wave can be. You know, it really can sneak up on you, and it's so easy to be in that wrong spot. Because if he was like 30 feet over this way, which he easily could have been, he's in fine water. Even if he fell right there, it's not going to be that bad. Like if you fall right here, you're going to come up in like 5 seconds. But if you're here, you might break your back and be under for a minute. It's like that. The margin for error is that small. So I don't blame him for being in that spot. And just let me pull up how this almost happened to me out there. It's it was pretty funny. My second ever time surfing out there, this exact thing almost happened to me. Not nearly as big of and scary of a wave, but I'll pull it up right now so you can see. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, so this is my second session ever. Like, did not know what I was doing necessarily, in that if you go to the bottom of the wave where it's apexing, there's no power down there. You're not gonna be able to get any speed, and you're gonna get pitched. So before we get into this, let's see the chat here. Why were people saying it was a kook move? Well, I think those people that were saying that for that wave specifically was, let's go back to it for a sec before we get into mine. Why were people saying this is a kook move? Because generally surfing, you know, if you saw someone do this at a small wave where you just went straight into the lip, you would maybe assume that it was a kook move because usually you'd bottom turn around it. But it's just for those that have never surfed Nazare, you're going so fast and the wave does very unpredictable things. So I don't think it was a kook move, but that's maybe what people that don't know so much about were saying. But this guy, I looked him up on Instagram before, and he surfs good. So I don't think that was the problem. I think it was just wrong place, wrong time. I mean, Russell Bjerke, one of the best big wave surfers on the planet, had a similar thing to this. Didn't land directly on top of him, but faded way too deep, had nowhere to go, and the thing exploded him. And I think that was the last time he's ever even gone out there. So, yeah, but yeah, so imagine calling someone surfing Nazare kook. I mean, let's face it, sometimes in big wave surfing, there is kooks out there. Like, let's just be real about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, you're getting towed in by a jet ski. You honestly, like, if you barely know how to surf, you can, in theory, go out and surf these waves. I'm not saying that's what the situation was with this, but it's people are wary of the kooks when it comes to big wave surfing because, you know, there's all the clout. All you got to do is grab the rope and let go, and you can be famous. So that's a part of it, you know. But yeah. So I'm definitely not calling a kook because I almost did the same exact thing. Second wave ever, or second session ever at Nazare. You could see I'm dropping in here. I'm getting like, I was getting a little overly confident. I'm like, oh, I'm going to fade this thing, either set up for a tube or do a big turn. And then I just got stuck at the bottom. The thing just, boom, just detonated right behind me. And I got really, really lucky that I made it out of there. Because I remember being right at this point right here, where my speed was diminishing immensely. I felt like I was like, oh no, this is the Nazare wipeout that I've always heard about, and I'm about to experience it right now. Just terrifying. And I remember just looking up, seeing this lip coming down at me. I don't know if this is, you know, maybe a 40-foot face wave, not huge by Nazare standards, but big enough to scare the crap out of me, being only a year or two into big wave surfing. And my life pretty much flashed before my eyes. I was almost the same exact spot where that last clip was in relation to the lineup. And I'll tell you in a second why that was very consequential for him and why I got really lucky to escape this. But this thing just came down and I barely had enough speed to get in front of it. And hearing that explosion go off right behind me was honestly blood curdling. I had never experienced anything close to that. It sent a shiver down my spine where I was absolutely tripping. And I was even more shocked that I popped out in front of this thing and I was able to ride out to the channel. And I like, after this wave, I locked eyes with Kai, my brother, and was like, holy crap, that was really close. You could see him go over there, and because he thought I fell. He was convinced because he was on the shoulder, and I think he was pretty darn surprised I made it. Like, you could see him claiming it for me right there. Like, he was he was tripping, and he was tripping even harder when he saw the clip. He was like, dude, you got so lucky. I think I actually have another angle of that one before we move on here. Yeah, so here's another angle. So yeah, you could see me whipping, dropping in late, or I mean fading deep, not dropping in late, dropping in really early, which is probably why I got myself into that situation. Thing peaked up, exploded me, somehow made it out. So I almost, I would have felt like a big kook if I fell right there. I got so lucky. And you know, afterwards people might be thinking, oh yeah, you're so skilled to barely outrun it. No, that was pure luck. That was all luck. Let's see, was he's driving the sled? I'm assuming you're referring to Kai. Yeah, he a lot of times we tow in together, so when he's surfing I'll drive, or when I'm surfing he'll drive. And yeah, so Let's see. Let's go back to that original YouTube video and keep moving. That wipeout though. Let's watch that one more time. That wipeout was psycho. That makes my wave that I just showed you look small. Oh my gosh. Just terrifying. And oh yeah, and so where he pops up here, well, I'm gonna go to a different angle, but it is right next to the rocks. Let me pull that up because it's definitely worth looking at here. How close he got to the rocks, and the rocks there are. I always just assumed if you go into the rocks, you're not coming out. You know, it's just so scary. Yeah, I think there's. Oh yeah, look at this. So yeah, so wipeout happens. This is what we call first peak, where it's right near the rocks. So you could see the rocks right there. And look where he gets picked up. If there was another big wave, like I don't know if that would be survivable. Oh my gosh. Like it's just I really don't think that'd be survivable. I don't know if anyone's ever come in contact with those rocks before in any type of real way. I think I have. Let's see. I think I have a clip that shows how gnarly these rocks are. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at this. Imagine being right there. Oh my God. Imagine you fall on the wave. So like that's kind of where he fell from the back in relation to the cliff. And all this water is pushing directly towards the rocks there. Yeah, I don't think that's survivable. They stopped people from surfing first peak in the WSL, didn't they? Huh. I wonder. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a clip of Lucas Chumbo and my brother where he went right on pretty much on a first peak and ended up in that same area. And Chumbo came in to try to save him, and they got caught, and it was like the most spectacular jet ski wipeout you've ever seen. Yeah, they got lucky. They made it out of that. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, no, Nazare is terrifying. It's terrifying because of that right there. That is the scariest part about it. And I feel like there's been a couple wipeouts this season where people have gotten really close to the rocks there. So yeah, anytime I haven't surfed there in a couple years, but I think I would prefer to be at second peak and not have that be a factor if I fall. So yeah, so let's keep going. We're 50 seconds into this video, so I'm assuming there's gonna be more drama going on, as there always is at Nazare. But let's keep watching it. It's like Tony again. Oh, nice turn. That was sick. Oh, it looks so fun out there. He just ripped that 20. Oh my gosh. It's got to be the best Nazare of the season, right? Pierre, another top level guy out there. Look, this looks like second peak right. This is the area that I like out there. I like to go right, no lefts. Luke Smith. Oh. Look at that right. You could have gotten drained on that thing. If you just backdoored it. Oh. Paddling. Dude, paddling Nazare is... I can confidently say I don't know if I'm going to do that. Especially at this size. I just think you're guaranteed to either get run over by a jet ski or get caught inside, or when you finish a wave, get mowed. I feel like the risk to reward with paddling out there is psycho. So respect to those guys that do that. Yeah, look at those tubes. Only a matter of time before someone sends one. 100%. 100%. I think there's certain guys out there that have been doing on the lefts, like Pedro Scooby, um, Nick Von Rupp. Those two guys, oh, Chumbo. Those guys have done really well in finding barrels out there, which is it's not easy to do. It's like I was saying earlier. It's like the you never know which ones are gonna do it. You know, it's like a gamble. You're probably gonna get clamped on. But that was a crazy paddle wave. I want to see that again. Look at that from the top. See, look at that just shows the difference between paddling and towing. Like it's the same wave, but imagine that paddler wasn't there. Like that would not be an impressive wave at all if it was just a tow guy. But the paddle guy, that looks insane. It's just the skill gap. So that's why it's like when I think of towing surfing, it's like you got to really surf above what the standard is. It's so easy. I mean, relatively so easy to just drop down the shoulder towing. You know, it's just a fact. So if you're towing, my approach is that you better be freaking ripping huge turns and getting barreled. And I don't succeed in that a lot of times. You know, there's plenty of waves I shoulder hop, but the goal is always to push the level. Versus paddling, it's like you're just you're surviving. So yeah, that was a good drop. Hey Sam, thanks for the kind words, bro. That's sick. Nice turn right there. That's a bomb. Yeah, looks fun. Looks fun. Ideally, you'd want to be a little deeper. I know that's nitpicky. Sorry. I love this comment. Laird is gonna hear you, dude. What Laird is my take about Laird is that he was so underrated in his years. I mean, actually underrated and overrated because like what he did at Jaws was so monumental for the time. And I know his name was dragged for forever, you know, it's Laird, but looking back now, I'm saying that what he was doing at Jaws in terms of the turns he was doing and getting barreled still holds up to today. And that was like 30 years ago. And he wasn't wearing any flotation. Getting drained at Jaws, like he could have easily been shoulder hopping every wave and still would have been just as famous as he was. But honestly, like Laird's the goat. But I know I don't know if he does he get offended if you call out towing just in general. I feel like he'd agree with me. You know, like you got to be if you're towing, you got to be freaking ripping. That's my take. So let's keep watching this. All right, that was it. Whoa, well, so that was a good swell out there. Oh my gosh. So yeah, last week in Nazare, I mean, just in general, this big wave season has been so average. You know, there hasn't been a lot of really standout moments, I feel like. You know, there was a couple Maverick swells. I'm trying to think. There was one Jaws swell. There's probably only like two sets that came in all winter at Jaws that actually were proper. Albie Layer got one of them. I don't know if you guys remember back in November, there was he got a good barrel. Um, but other than that, there hasn't been a whole lot. Like I picked such a good year to get hurt. I feel like all winter I was tripping. I was like, this is probably going to be the best winter ever, and I'm gonna have to watch it all from the sidelines. But but yeah, let's see. Definitely monumental for sure. And the Chopes wave is insane. He just gets goofy about towing. 100%. I think that sums it up really well. Ireland was insane. Um, I'm gonna let's look at some of those clips here. Actually, I think didn't Nathan Florence just drop an edit from there? Let me pull that up. Or I think no, do you know what that Nathan posted one, but there was another really sick one, I think. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Surfing Visions posted it. Um oh, I gotta mute that so I don't get demonetized. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Ireland was crazy. This wave, I won't say, I know the location of this. I mean, I've never been there. I know the name of it, but I won't say the name. But if there's anywhere on planet Earth I'd want us go to surf big waves, it's this wave right here. And it's not massive, but it looks like a mini Jaws, and every wave is freaking perfect. Let's see, there's somewhere in this edit that's just some of these waves were guys were getting were just psycho. I think this is a couple weeks ago. Um, I'm sure the water was freezing, but just look at this. It's like the perfect combination of like it's a slab, but you can still ride like a longer board. Like if I were out there, I probably would have rode maybe a 7.6. Oh, that's scary though. Look at that. You ride the wave too long and you just end up on dry rocks. But look at that. Willem Banks fades off the bottom, positions perfectly. There's dry. Oh my gosh, dude. Might have to hang it up after that one, honestly. I don't know if it gets much better than that. If I were out that day and I got that wave, I think I would just paddle in. Look, airdrops, fades off the bottom, just stands there. Just absolutely wild. That's a crazy one. Have you ever been a PR? No, I'm assuming you're saying Puerto Rico. I want to go. I saw that there was a good swell there the other day, or I don't know how long ago there that was, where that wave gas chambers was going. It looked pretty darn fun, but I'd love to get over there at one point. But this is a spot I really want to go to. I know it's probably a lot scarier than it looks, but it freaking sure does look fun. And obviously Nathan, like, dude, Nathan's honestly improved as a big wave surfer so much in the past 5 years. Like, he's gone from he was always really good, but he is the guy now, I'd say. Especially in waves like this, like I'm betting that Nathan's always going to get the best wave. You know, it's just and that's part of like he's so on that grind of traveling around the world, spending all the money chasing these swells. They probably get skunked a lot too, but he does score a lot, and that's the name of the game is just having time in waves like this where he's just so comfortable. So yeah, come on, dude. This is crazy. Have you ever been to Chiopo? No. I want to go one day. It looks honestly it looks scary. Like if there's one area of my surfing that I'm probably the least comfortable with when it comes to, big waves, it's the left slabs. And I think even more so now because I got hurt on a pretty solid day at Cloudbreak, and I need to just spend more time doing it. But it's scary. Backside is scary in waves like that because it feels like you're just taking off like under it and upside down. And I can't imagine how scary Chopes is. But at the same time, I've heard that the wave is so perfect that it's almost like inviting in a weird way. So I don't know. It's hard to say because I've never been there. But one day, maybe this summer, I'd like to go. Slab Tour paying dividends. How he hasn't gotten hurt is insane. Dude, that's such a good point. I literally was thinking about that the other day where, he's really pushing it at sketchy waves. Like you go on his YouTube at any point in time and it looks like it's a death defying session, but that just goes to show how good Nathan is. I think if there was anyone, most other surfers, even really good surfers that went on that slab tour and surf the same waves he does, I it would be hard to make it through a full season of that without getting hurt. So, but that's the thing with these guys. They know how to fall on slabby waves like that. And that's a skill because it's either that it's a difference between falling in the barrel and jumping in the perfect spot and just getting pushed straight out the back, or, you get slammed on the reef and there's kind of no in between. And guys like Nathan, Russell Bjerke too right here. That's like they've mastered that, and that's how you can do the sport. Otherwise, you're going to last about 5 minutes out in these waves. It's crazy. I had a couple friends go to Ireland a few years back. They said you didn't have to travel far to get away from the crowd and still score decent. Yeah, my brother was actually there a couple months ago, and he said the same thing. He's like, it's so cold and so rugged that it almost keeps the crowd away. I mean, it looks like the top waves like this and Mullaghmore have gotten pretty crowded, but it's kind of with just the elite guys, I feel like. But it seems like Ireland has become sort of a big wave mecca nowadays, where it's like a place you have to go. I feel like over the years there's always like, different spots that have the spotlight. Forever it was Jaws here on Maui, and then Nazare for about 10 years. And I feel like this year specifically, the Nazare hype has kind of gone down, but I think Ireland is taking its place. I mean, it's not nearly as big, but the waves are just crazy. Just the perfect mix of being tall and slabby. And that's sort of like the magic. Jaws gets like that sometimes. And that's honestly the best. But dude, big waves don't get more perfect than that, dude. Especially a right, me being a regular footer. I'd rather go there than anywhere else if I were to travel. Oh, thanks, Gary. I appreciate it. That's Central America. That wave was psycho. I want to go back one day. I bet it gets a lot bigger too. Yeah, just him and his wife on a cliff filming 300 meters away. Talking about Nathan. That's that's really cool. Like that's my dream with my girlfriend and future wife, is to be able to travel around the world, be able to afford to, bring all the boards, and have her film and be along for the adventure. Like that'd be such a crazy lifestyle. And Nathan has done so well about, creating that life for himself. Cause I've asked him before and we talked about it. That stuff is not cheap. Traveling around the world like he does, I think he was operating in the red for a long time. I mean, he's always had, I think, decent sponsor support, but even so, like these last minute trips, like it could cost, $8,000-10,000 for a trip. And before his YouTube was popping, I doubt he was making that back. But I think nowadays he is, and he has, the Red Bull sponsorship. So he's finally probably operating in the profit margin. But that was a many years where he did it for the pure love of it. And I don't think people realize just how freaking expensive it is. But I think, yeah, let's look at Nathan's waves from that. I love that he does the GoPro, dude. He's no one does YouTube better than Nathan, honestly. Like I think he's won like awards for how good his YouTube is, and honestly, he deserves every bit of praise he gets. Cuz he's just on that grind every week. Like he's putting out this the craziest video you've ever seen. Let's see. Have you ever surfed OBX, and how was it? Um, Outer Banks. I've never been out there. I haven't done much on the East Coast. I've surfed Montauk in New York before, and that was it. But I'd love to get over there. I think this year, now that I'm trying to save up a bit of a budget for travel to maybe not do what this guy's doing, the slab tour, but something similar. I'd love to travel more and make videos of traveling around. That's the dream. But it's just, again, it's like the money thing. It's like you need a big budget, but um yeah, that's the hard thing about this sport, is everything costs so much. Are you picking up sponsors? You're one of the most eloquent story oh, thank you, storytellers among good surfers. Yeah, I'm looking into it now. I mean, I kind of it that's a thing with the surf world right now. It's a hard time to become a pro surfer, like the hardest time. I hear stories from some of the OGs around here, and 20 years ago, it was like they were giving out contracts. You get a good pipe wave, one good pipe wave, you get in a magazine, it's like $40,000 contract, sticker on your board. But nowadays it's a grind. Like I was saying at the start of the stream, it's like either have to be so on the content game, or you have to be borderline winning world titles. And if you're anywhere but in those two camps, like you're not gonna be able to make a living from this. So I'm looking at into, some sponsorships. I've really been trying to become self-sustainable through the content, and I've been really lucky. It was about 4 years of not really making ton from the videos. But I love making this content so much that that was my motivation. I was like, I'm not even gonna think about the money. I'm just gonna put out the videos, have fun with it. I was working other jobs the whole time, but now it's like this year finally feels like I'm able to be a bit more independent, and that's just through YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, monetization, which feels great. But the cool thing is, since I focused so much on that, the platforms have grown, and I've been able to, get a little bit of sponsorship interest. So we'll see how this year goes. Not like banking on it. I'm trying to save up as much as I can on my own to travel, but yeah, it'd be cool. Oh, shout out. Yeah, I'll shout you out, bro. Yeah, let's see this. Yeah, Nathan. Oh, look, Nathan's doing like he's doing like story time content. I love that. I love it to see other surfers doing it. When I first started that type of thing where I'm like talking like this on camera, I was so embarrassed. But I knew that just if your like content game is that your only thing is you're just gonna post surfing, you better be getting the craziest wave of your life every other day, to stay whatever relevant, to be consistent with this stuff. At one point, you got to get in front of the camera and start talking. And been I've been very hesitant to go to these next stages of content, but it's necessary and it ends up always being fun. Um, yeah, it's a good time. But yeah, like it's a 30-minute long video of Nathan. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, that guy bails in front of him. Oh no. I wonder if that threw him off. But honestly, it didn't matter. That wave like ran off. But that was a crazy send right there. Holy crap. He's been doing talking heads for a while. Oh, sick. I don't know. Yeah, I think I've watched a lot of his raw videos, which I really like that content too. But this looks like he's set up a good camera in his room. I feel like and the formula so far with YouTube and surfers has been like vlog, like in the moment with your camera. But I like when they sit down in their house and they can let sort of their thoughts develop and reflect on the session, like he's walking through his waves out here and telling us exactly what happened, and it really gives you a cool perspective, because forever it's always been in big wave surfing, at least, like these guys like Laird and all the some of those OGs. It's like they seem like mythical creatures. You're like, how can I ever relate to somebody like this? Like, how do you relate to Laird? Like, he looks like literally Superman out there. And it's cool to see a guy like Nathan who's on that same level, if not a higher level, talking to us like he's our friend. I like that. It makes it feel like, oh, if you're just getting into surfing, you experience similar things, not as big of a scale, maybe on like a 2 foot wave, and it's very relatable. And that's the content that, yeah, that I really like. Yeah, that was a crazy session. Shout out Nathan. I'd love to get. We want to get Nathan on the podcast, maybe like Nathan and John at the same time. Um, that'd be really fun. And those guys probably have crazy stories, and it'd be cool to like get him on the stream somehow. Have him like call in and walk us through. Like, how cool would it be to like walk through this session with Nathan? That'd be really cool. If and Nathan, if you ever see this, let's do it. But let's see what else has been going on. Oh yeah, here on Maui, there hasn't been a Jaws swell since January. It's been such a terrible season, but there was this weird northeast swell that came in. I went and surfed on the west side, kind of a mellow, fun, rippable wave. I posted that session on Instagram. It was like nothing crazy, but I was only like a week into surfing again, so I didn't want to surf the scary waves. But Albie and a couple of the Groms here on Maui went and surfed a freaking terrifying slab. And I don't know if you know of what slab I'm talking about. It's basically the slab that only Albie Lair gets good waves on. So let's check out this session because something crazy happened. This Grom from here, this local Grom, Kingston, had a 2-wave hold down out there, and the video that Albie just posted from it, it's like the whole raw sequence of it. It's terrifying, and you can hear the audio of everyone on the cliff reacting to it, and they're just tripping because they think that, you know, Kingston is drowning. But luckily Kingston's a very capable young surfer from here, and he made it through it. But yeah, let's see. So this is the day Albie posted this. He started his, this isn't the slab, but he started his day at this fun harbor wave that we always like to surf. This is where I should have gone that day probably. Let's see. Let's go up to his session out at you know, I'll say the name of the wave because no one will ever surf it. It's called Maliko. If you're on the North Shore of Maui, you've probably driven past it and not known it's there. Just look at how scary this place is, dude. Do you live on the North Shore? I live on the North Shore of Maui. Not the North Shore, but Maui's North Shore. So yeah, just there's just it's such a hard entry into those waves, bro. I think Albie got a good one. Let me try to find it. Yeah, that day I knew with that swell direction, I knew this wave was gonna be good. And I always ask myself, will I surf this wave one day? And I kind of like get excited about it sometimes. And then I see videos like this and I'm like, dude, it's not worth it. Like it's the wave barrels, but it's not that great. Like it's not, I mean, you have to be Albie Lair level of talent to freaking get a wave like this. Like that is so hard, and it's not an open barrel at all. It's so chandelier, and he just threads the needle through that thing. Look at this. Has to take off under it, is behind the peak. That's the only way to do it out there. Backdoors it, gets his line up high so that he has speed to drive through these chandeliers, and just barely squeaks out. That's some talent right there. Yeah, he said he gets like one good one for every 50 he takes out there. 100%. Like he'll surf out there for 3 hours and like he's stoked if he gets a good one. And I've watched that wave live a ton of times. And the waves that actually stay open, it's literally 1 in 50 that come in that actually barrel. Most of the time it's just death clamp, and then it pushes into straight dry rocks. You know, and it's like almost like you don't even want to wear inflation because or flotation or inflation because you'll just get washed straight into the cliff. And here we have Steve Roberson. Oh my gosh, just that was a good send, but the thing just ate him off the drop. And I think he must have gotten pretty smoked on that thing. But just wait till you see this wave of Kingston or this hold down. I'll turn on the sound so you guys can hear it. Oh wait, not yet. Let's see here. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, watch this. So these guys are getting caught inside. I think it's Steve Roberson, Albie, and then the furthest right is Kingston. And just, I'm just gonna play this. So look, the two guys made it. Albie and Steve, I believe that's Steve, or that maybe that's this kid Ramon made it. It's terrifying. That was a solid 30, 40-second hold down. I would have been seeing stars, bro. So scary. I've never had a 2-wave hold down before. knock. I mean, I've had it in small waves when it's short period. It really wasn't that bad. But in big waves, I knock on wood. But I've never had a two wave hold down. But I just can't imagine how scary it'd be if you, especially if you're already out of breath and you think you're almost to the surface, and then you hear the next one detonate on you. It's got to be a terrible feeling, dude. I've heard a lot of stories about that, and they scare me every time. Like we've had guys on the podcast where they're talking about their two wave hold down experiences, and I'm literally like sweating bullets. Like I know it's gonna happen to me one day, but I'm pretty darn confident that I'll be able to survive it just with all the training. But I just gotta mentally prepare. That is probably gonna happen one day. That's gonna be terrifying. But I'm glad Kingston made it out of that one, dude. That was really scary. There was a jet ski out there, but I don't know where it was. I don't know why I didn't rescue him. I got to get some intel on that. But do you do any breath training? Yeah, and the way we train is pretty interesting. Like we do some pool stuff, but we integrate it into our normal workouts. So, say we're doing like a squat set, we'll introduce breath holding techniques into doing the squat set. So, what we do is that we set up with the bar and we do a big inhale, like 5-second inhale, out, exhale for 5 seconds, hold our breath for 5 seconds, and then hold our breath through all the reps. So say you're doing 12 reps, that's probably about 30 seconds, 40 seconds where you're holding your breath on a negative breath hold. All your air is expelled and you have to drive with your legs. And man, those are painful because your legs use up so much oxygen that you're just like, every rep feels like it's an eternity, but it's such good training because it really does mimic like how slow time feels like it's going when you're actually getting smoked. And I feel like that training's helped a ton. I mean, the in the water training's obviously the best, but just to have the repetitions of going into the gym, like I probably do that type of training 3 times a week in the gym. You don't want to overdo it with the breath training or else you're going to really tire out your lungs, but that's helped a ton. Kai and I have been doing that for years, and it's helped a lot. Yeah, so those were the 2 swells, Nazare and then this swell, and then aliens. Three different sessions that were pretty sick over. I mean, this one looks scary, but pretty sick over the past month. But other than that, there hasn't been a lot. But one last thing I wanted to talk about was I thought this was the sickest thing. Some of the most core surfers in the world, like, you know, what's their names? Noah Dean, Harry Bryant, Craig Anderson. They're part of this company called Drag Board Co. And they put out a boogie boarding movie, like a straight up boogie boarding movie. And I when I saw that, I was tripping. I was like, I think I read this. Like, this must be a troll. Like, there's no way these guys are going boogie boarding. And and I when I saw these guys, switching it up like that, it was pretty sick. Because I if you don't know, I grew up being a bodyboarder, so I was pretty hyped on them doing that. But let's see. I think we got some comments from the last segment there. That's super dangerous to do while you're squatting. Yeah, it probably is. But surfing big waves is dangerous too, and you need to prepare for it. And we're always watching each other in the gym. If we feel like if it looks like we're gonna pass out, we're gonna, have someone in to help us. But yeah, this stuff's dangerous. But you'd rather have like an incident where you pass out in the gym versus out in the waves. So it's a mix. I would not condone it on your own. Like, don't go to the gym and try that. Like, really, if you're gonna do it, bring a friend and work up to it very slowly. Don't do what I just told you to do. But yeah, let's check out this boogie boarding movie with some of the world's most core servers. I want to go see. I want to see Noah Dean's part. I think it's so funny. Yeah, they did this. They did this whole skit where Noah Dean's like a kid and he's like in denial about wanting to boogie board when it's like, it's so far up to this point in surfing, boogie boarding has been so frowned upon. Like, you're such a kook if you're boogie boarding, it's like you shouldn't be doing that. And they make fun of that sort of idea in this movie where it's like, it's called Rip for Trad Relapse. You guys should look it up. But it was just, oh no, this is the Harry Bryant segment. But it's just so funny. Like, look how sick this clip right here is. Like, he just straight up mogs the camera on this wave. Let's see if it pops up. Look at this. Just look straight at the camera. So sick. But these guys were charging. But I just love that. Like, these are supposed to be the world's most core surfers, and they're doing this. Like, that just really shows what it's supposed to be about, dude. Like, if you're having fun out in the water, that's really all that should matter, you know? Like, like I'm so over like this core thing in surfing, bro. Like, just go out and have fun. Don't take it too seriously. Boogies are so much more core, are so much more core anymore, though. There is no money in it. These guys are out the crazy slabs doing it purely for the love. That's what I've been saying. I put out a video recently where I was talking about that, and I stand by it, dude. Like, the bodyboarders are more core than any surfers are nowadays. Because, you know, surfing, it's like you have a platform, you can share about it, you know, and I know there's some surfers that, you know, will surf big waves just because there's clout involved with it. You know, you get likes. But the bodyboards, that's how you should be, like, just doing it for the love. And I think this video was a testament to that. So that was pretty sick. Look at that, Harry Bryant. He's ripping. Yeah, that was pretty sick. But let's see, we got an hour in there. I'd say this was a bit of like a test stream, but if you guys liked it, definitely, you know, let me know how things could be different with this streaming thing, ideas for it. I want to like do surf technique breakdown, like before a stream or during a stream, if you guys want to send in clips and we could all like review it together. You know, I've been getting really into surf technique and stuff, and just talking with some of my friends that are much better than me, and, you know, discussing surf technique. So I think that'd be really fun, and maybe getting one of them in here and discussing that. So yeah, let's see. What kind of boards do you ride? On a day-to-day basis, like, I'm going to go probably surf today right now, and it's about a foot, and I'll ride like a 510 shortboard. That's what I ride most of the time. Back there, that's a tow board for Jaws, 13 pounds, foot straps and everything, and haven't ridden it yet. I just got it this season, but hopefully we have one more Jaws swell. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in, and I think I'm gonna do like a regular cadence for this. Like, I want to do it probably the same time, like Tuesday afternoons. Let me know if there's a better time to do it, but yeah, this is fun.